definition of petroleum. You guys have any idea about petroleum, or any vague idea also? Anybody can respond. Okay, then I will be proceeding with the definition of petroleum. So petroleum is generally a yellowish black liquid, and it is found within geological formations. Geological formations beneath the earth surface. Okay, beneath the earth surface. And like, you can ask why it is found only beneath the surface. You must be wondering about that. Like, if we if petroleum is there, like for example, if organic matter are deposited above the layer of the earth, this is the surface of the earth. Okay, surface of the earth. For hydrocarbons to form or to petroleum to form, this organic matter deposited must be preserved. Okay, if it is present above the surface of the earth, then agents like air, water, okay, these things will act upon the organic matter and will destroy the organic matter, and thus it will not be preserved. So for preservation of the organic matter, it is necessary that it must be present beneath the surface. You guys are getting now? Ali?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So petroleum is a
Hello, sir.
yeah, hi.
What is written after black liquid?
Yeah, it is a yellowish black liquid. Okay, yellowish black liquid found in geological formation. It is geological formations. Geological formations, and it is generally found beneath the surface, because if it is present above the surface, then it will get destroyed and the organic matter will not be preserved to be converted into kerosene and its further form, that is the petroleum. So okay, and the second thing is that petroleum is a wide term. It consists of like many components and all. So petroleum can be refined. Okay, can be refined, or you can say separated, can be separated into various types of fossil fuels, into various types of fossil fuels. Why we are saying fossil fuel? Because like it is mainly from the fossils, the organic matter which are dead and that are preserved to be converted into petroleum later. Okay, petroleum can be refined into various types of fossil fuels, and they are refined by a process known as fractional distillation. Fractional distillation. So fractional distillation is a process in which the substance which needs to be purified or refined, the substance is heated. Okay, the substance is heated from beneath, and when the substance is heated, like it vaporizes, and then it condenses into its components. For example, this substance is consisting of four materials: material 1, material 2, material 3, and material 4. And and as we know, each material has a distinct boiling point. Okay, like this material has 100 degrees Celsius boiling point, sorry, melting point. Okay, and this has 120 degrees Celsius boiling point, this has 130 degrees Celsius boiling point, this is 140 degrees Celsius boiling point. So due to their difference in boiling point, these substances get separated during fractional distillation. I would like to import a picture here to describe you guys. Yeah, as you all can see in this picture, like here is the crude oil. Okay, the crude oil is inserted here and it is heated here, heated by the furnace, and then they are separated on the basis of their boiling point. Okay, like fuel will condense at 370 degrees Celsius, and the condensed material will be collected here. The diesel will condense at 300 degrees Celsius, and it will be collected here, and it will be separated from this pipe. kerosene will condense here and will be separated from this pipe. So due to their difference in boiling point, they will condense at different temperatures, and different temperatures corresponds to a different height in the fractionating column. This column is called as fractionating column. Okay, fractionating column. So difference in their boiling point results in their separation. Any question in this? Otherwise, I will proceed. You also can say no. Okay, that will be more convenient that I am audible to you all.
No, sir.
Okay. Now we will discuss like the basic types of hydrocarbons. Types of hydrocarbons. These are like general types. Firstly, we have dry gas, and then we have wet gas. Then we have liquid hydrocarbons. These are based on the phase. Okay, like gas phase, liquid phase, plastic phase, solid phase. So this classification is based on the phase of the hydrocarbon. Dry gas, wet gas. Then we have liquid hydrocarbon. Then we have plastic hydrocarbon, and then we have solid hydrocarbon. Plastic hydrocarbon means like it has some property both of liquid and that of solid. That's why it is called as plastic. Plastic means that it is elastic in some nature, and liquid has the property of being elastic. Like it can transform its shape. We all know that liquid can transform its its shape easily. Okay, so plastic has the property to transform itself, and solid does not possess that property. Like if we try to transform the shape of solid, then it will deform and it will not regain its shape. This is the concept of structural geology. So this is the five basic types of hydrocarbon based on their phase, and so we'll write example for each. Dry gas we have for dry gas we have methane. In wet gas we have ethane, propane, butane, etc. Okay. So methane, the formula for methane is CH4. For ethane, it is you can add you can use the general formula CnH2n plus 2. Okay. For alkanes, alkane groups of hydrocarbon, we can use this formula CnH2n plus 2. And for alkenes you can use CnH2n, and for alkynes you can use CnH2n minus 2. Okay. So if you put 1 in the place of n, you will get CH4, that is methane. If you put 2, you will get the formula for ethane. For liquid hydrocarbon, we have crude oil, okay, which is separated to form the various types of fossil fuels like diesel, petrol, kerosene, and all. Crude oil, or simply we can say oil also. For plastic hydrocarbon, we have asphalt. You must have heard of asphalt. This is used in roads. Okay. For solid hydrocarbon, we have coal, kerosene, and gas hydrates. Kerosene is basically the precursor. We can say that it is the precursor. Okay, precursor of petroleum, precursor of petroleum, or so we can say hydrocarbon. Uh, it occurs in between the formation of hydrocarbon. So these are the five basic types of hydrocarbon. As we have said gas hydrates here, we will see the definition of gas hydrates also.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, hi.
So please explain again the plastic hydrocarbon, the properties of plastic hydrocarbons.
Like plastic means like it will possess both like solid in general does not possess the behavior of changing its shape. Okay, and liquid possesses the behavior of changing its shape. Like if you put liquid in any container, it will take the shape of that container, and solid does not follow that rule. And for plastic carbon it is like it will follow this behavior of both solid as well as that of liquid. What will happen is like Asphalt, you must have seen asphalt that is used in road making. When we heat asphalt, like when we are paving the road, we heat asphalt to convert it into liquid so as to spread the asphalt over the road. But when the asphalt cools down, it converts into solid. Okay, so its property changes on the basis of the temperature we are giving them. But that is not the case with oil. If you like heat the oil, then it will not convert into like solid. Okay, so plastic hydrocarbon will possess both the property of liquid as well as that of the solid. Got it?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So now coming to the definition of gas hydrates. So gas hydrates, you must have heard some news about ONGC working in gas hydrates and all in KG basin. Okay. So the peculiar thing about gas hydrate is it is found in cold environment. ठीक है? Cold environment means temperature should be low or pressure should be high. Pressure should be high. Okay, these are the two conditions for the occurrence of gas hydrate. Either the temperature should be low, very low, or the pressure should be very high. So in KG basin, that is the Krishna Godavari basin of India, uh, gas hydrates are found in very deep reservoirs. And in deep reservoirs, the condition is pressure is very high. So we find gas hydrates there. And what are gas hydrates? Okay, so write the definition. Gas hydrates are ice crystals. Okay, gas hydrates are ice crystals with peculiar structured, peculiar structured atomic lattices. Lattices are the units of an atom. You can say it is the basic unit. Basic unit. If we repeat lattices, then we will form an atom. If this is the lattice cell, if we repeat lattice, it will form atom. It is similar to that of the cell of an organism. Like lot of cell combinedly will form tissue. Okay. Gas hydrate is a ice crystal with peculiar structure atomic lattices, which contains molecules of methane and other gases. So basically, gas hydrate is an ice crystal in which gases are trapped. And like you must be wondering how gases can be trapped within an ice. So in class 12, you guys must have studied that the volume of ice is greater than the volume of water. Okay, if you take the same amount of water, like if you took 10 centimeter cube of water and we freeze it, if we took 10 centimeter cube water and we freeze it, then the after freezing the volume of the water will increase that on converting to ice. And this occurs because like when ice forms, like if this is an ice, then within it there are gaps. So in these gaps, the gas molecules are trapped. In these gaps, gas molecules are trapped. Okay, so these gas molecules are the gas hydrates. And the problem and the you like for in applied point of view, the problem in extracting gas hydrate from this ice crystal is that they are at very high pressure, as we discussed earlier. That for the formation of gas hydrate, we need either very cold environment, that is temperature should be very low, or the pressure should be very high. So these gas hydrates, when they are trapped in between the pore spaces of the ice, these are at very high pressure. So if you try to break the ice through any fracturing technique to extract the gas, then like it can explode. Okay, it can explode. So like it is dangerous to extract the gas hydrate, and still we are working on techniques how to extract these gases as they are abundant. Okay.
So,
Yeah, hi.
so isn't in the deep so in the deep so in deep within the earth in KG basins, So isn't the temperature very high?
Like temperature increases, but like I said now, like there are two conditions for the formation of gas hydrate. Either the cold, there should be cold environment, or pressure should be very high. Okay, the temperature is not that high to restrict the formation of gas hydrate. Okay, like we are talking about how much kilometer? We are talking about like 4 kilometer to 8 kilometer of depth. The depth at kg basin is what? Like it is between 6 kilometer to 8 kilometer, and at this depth the temperature is not that high, that much high to restrict the formation of gas hydrate. Okay, like in the Arctics the temperature is very low, so gas hydrates are very abundant there, even when there is low pressure. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Got it.
Okay. Now moving on, I write down some like abbreviations. So it will be used in the further classes. API. API means American Petroleum Institute. Okay. Then APG, you guys must be knowing this one. Uh, American Association of Petroleum Geologists. SP is Society of Petroleum Engineers. Society of and NGL. NGL is natural gas liquid. Natural gas liquid. We will discuss other abbreviation as we go through the course. Okay, moving on. So natural gases that are found. Let me introduce you to first to natural gases, then we will discuss its properties. So natural gas.
Sir, can you read the APH full form?
Yeah, American Association of Petroleum Geologists. American Association of Petroleum Geologists. You guys can tell me, instruct me to like stop, and when you guys finish writing, then I can proceed. SPE is Society of Petroleum Engineers. NGL is natural gas liquid. In like we discussed the types of hydrocarbon: dry gas, wet gas, liquid hydrocarbon, plastic hydrocarbon. So this dry gas and wet gas, like this can combinedly be called as natural gases. Okay. So write down the definition of natural gas. So natural gas is basically a mixture of hydrocarbon and non-hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon means that the compound must possess two elements, two basic elements, that is hydrogen and carbon. And non-hydrocarbon would miss either hydrogen or carbon or both. So natural gas is a mixture of hydrocarbon as well as that of non-hydrocarbon. Okay, and they exist in gaseous phase or in solution with the crude oil. Crude oil is in liquid form. So why it occurs in solution? Like in deep reservoirs. Like for example, this is the surface of the earth, and this is an anticline. Hydrocarbons are trapped here. Okay, gas is here, oil is here, water is here. So like these formations are at very high pressure, na? So this high pressure causes some of the hydrocarbons to be dissolved in the oil, some of the oil to be dissolved in water. Like these are not like boundary that the gas cannot go into the oil zone, oil cannot go into the water zone. Okay, there is some mixture in between. Okay, so natural gases are of three types based on their origin. They can be either of organic origin or of mixed origin, or they can be of inorganic origin. Okay, in organic origin we have hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons, that is, we can have H2. Hydrogen can also be produced organically. Then methane, ethane, and so on. Okay, methane is dry gas, and ethane is wet gas. We will discuss what is the criteria to say whether a gas is dry or wet. So these are the organic origin hydrocarbons, and mixed origin we have CO2. CO2 can be produced both organically as well as inorganically. Organically means Organically means biological activity. Biological activity is involved in production of that matter, and inorganic means biological activity is not involved. CO2 can be both of organic as well as inorganic origin. Similar for hydrogen sulfide, it can be both of organic and inorganic origin. And then in inorganic origin natural gases, we have nitrogen, and then and there are many inert gases that are of inorganic origin. For example, the helium, neon, and all the group 18 elements. Okay, group 18. We have in group 18 we have neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, and all. Okay, krypton is Kr. If you are done writing this, then like do hint me.
So you can please explain the diagram once again that you drew above.
Yeah, this one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, like so I said like this is the surface of the earth. This line. Let me change the color. Okay, so this is the surface of the earth, and this is an anticline below the surface of the earth, and we are having gas gas at the top. Then we are having oil. Then we are having oil, and then we have water. Okay, this is the in general sequence. Firstly, we will have gas, then we will have oil, then we will have water. Okay, this is based on what? Anybody can tell? Like this separation, this occurrence, this occurrence, this depends on what?
Distance.
Yeah, yeah, density. Gas has very low density, so it is occurring at the top. And like, what role density is playing in separation? Can you tell the physical force or something which is forcing the gas to occupy the top position?
Buoyancy.
Yeah, good,
The
good, good.
buoyant force.
Yeah, buoyant force. Gas is more buoyant than all others, so it is occurring at the top. So this three things, gas, oil, and water, these are separated. Okay, so this separation, this line is not very like accurate. There is some mixture in between. The gas will mix in the oil will mix in the water, and this is all due to pressure. At high pressure, gas will mix with oil, but at like if you start to reduce the pressure, then gas will separate from the oil. And this is the common phenomenon you guys see when you guys drink cold drink. For example, this is the cold drink bottle, and when the cap is locked, the gas is dissolved in the liquid. Okay, but as soon as you like open the cap, the pressure decreases, and when the pressure decreases, the gas separates itself from the liquid. And when the pressure is high, they are mixed, and the same occurs here beneath the surface of the earth. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So like we discussed, like we will discuss how we like designate whether it is a dry gas or wet gas. So there is a criteria for that. A dry gas, if we say a gas is dry if it contains less than 0.1 gal. Can you say what is gal here? Less than 0.1 gal per 1000 feet cube of condensate. And we will say that the gas is wet if it contains greater than greater than 0.3 gal per 1000 feet cube of condensate. Like you must be wondering what is condensate. So write it down and we will discuss condensate. What is condensate? Okay, so condensate is a hydrocarbon that are gaseous in the subsurface. Like if it is present below the surface, then it is in gaseous form. But as soon as we bring it to the top, it is gaseous beneath the surface, and as soon as we bring it to the top, it converts into liquid. Okay, this type of matter are called as condensates. So you guys can write it down. Hydrocarbons that are gaseous in the subsurface but condense to liquid when they are cooled at the surface. Obviously the temperature at the surface will be low. Yeah, like at this place beneath the surface of the earth, temperature is high, and at this place temperature is low. So when we will bring the matter to the surface of the earth, it will cool down to liquid, and this type of matter are called as condensate. And this doesn't occur with everything. Like for crude oil, if we bring the crude oil to the surface of the earth, it will remain in liquid form. It was in liquid form beneath the surface of the earth, and when we will bring it to the surface, it will remain in liquid form. The same is with that of natural gas. It is in gaseous form beneath the surface, and when we will bring it to the surface, it will remain in gaseous form. But that is not the case with condensate. It changes its phase when it is brought to the surface. So this is its peculiar property. Done.
So please repeat this diagram.
Okay. So seeing the definition, we can like see here that hydrocarbons that are gases in the subsurface. Subsurface means beneath. Okay. Beneath the surface, it is in gaseous form. And when it is brought to the surface, it condenses to liquid. That is, it changes its phase. For example, this is the surface of the earth. This is the surface of the earth, and here is a matter which is in gaseous form. Okay, maybe it is trapped within an anticline or within a fault or something else. This is in gaseous form beneath the surface of the earth, and at this place, temperature is high. Pressure is also high. And when this matter is brought to the surface, it converts into liquid form. And at the surface, we have low temperature as well as that of low pressure as compared to that beneath the surface. Okay. So this is the peculiar characteristics of condensate. Yeah. Hi.
Sir,
Hmm.
in case of beneath the subsurface, then pressure is high. But we know that when the pressure is low, the liquid converts to gas. So in case of Earth's surface, what this is reverse happening? Because here the pressure is decreasing and formation of gaseous to liquid.
Yeah. Okay. But like this is the thing now, like this is the peculiar property of condensate, and you will also have to look at the property of temperature. Okay, temperature is decreasing here. So like at high temperatures we will have gases things, and at low temperatures we will have liquid. This phase change does not occur with everything. Okay, temperature is playing the major role here. Okay, in conversion of the phase, and this does not occurs with all of the materials. Like for example, crude oil for crude oil, the physical condition are also the same. Like temperature is high, and temperature is high beneath the surface, and temperature is low above the surface, but it does not condenses to any other thing. Like if we like, you can say that for all natural gas this will occur. For natural gases are in gases form beneath the surface, but when they are brought to the surface, they do not convert into liquid. They remain at
Yes, yes, yes.
gases form.
So
But
that's
this
the
is the,
property of condensate.
yeah. This is peculiar
Okay.
about condensate only.
Thank you.
Okay. So this was basic only, and further, in maybe in next class we will discuss about physical property and chemical properties of hydrocarbon. And like I will take another half an hour for discussing the generation of hydrocarbon. So like, can you guys tell me like what is the duration of your classes? It is 1 hour or 2 hour? Hello.
1.5 hours.
Okay. Okay, 1.5. So then we will proceed with the origin of hydrocarbons. Like here you can see the syllabus of geoscientist examination. In GATE, GATE does not describe precisely what they will ask. In GATE syllabus, it is written merely like petroleum geology. And UPSC has described the syllabus, and like if you guys will cover this much, then it will work for GATE also, and as well as for like ONGC interview and all. ONGC interview, or like any oil and gas interview, maybe private companies like Halliburton or Oil India Limited or anything. So moving its generation of hydrocarbon. Okay, put down the heading generation of hydrocarbon. So generation of hydrocarbon involves three basic steps. Three basic steps. First step is the production of organic matter. Okay, and then the organic matter that is produced must be preserved. Preservation of organic matter. And the second step involves conversion of the organic matter to kerosene, and third is conversion of kerosene to petroleum. We will discuss about kerosene. What is kerosene? What are its properties? Conversion of kerosene to petroleum. For now, like you can consider kerosene as a precursor of petroleum. Like before formation of petroleum, the organic matter is kerosene. Conversion of kerosene to petroleum. And yeah, in place of production, you can write production, comma accumulation. They must be accumulated at a place, and they must not be dispersed. Okay, production, accumulation, and deposition. Deposition of organic matter. OM is for organic matter, and then the organic matter must be preserved, and then the organic matter must be converted into kerosene. A lot of processes acts for conversion of organic matter to kerosene. Then the kerosene is converted into petroleum. For example, like we will discuss the significance of accumulation a bit. So I said accumulation because like if these are the organic matters, okay, and we have sediments in between them. Okay, these are the organic matters. So if the organic matters are dispersed like this, okay, So there are very high chances of their destruction, because like they are in contact of some other thing. Okay, all of their surface area are in contact with another thing that might destroy it. If a oil is surrounded by oil, then the chances of its destruction is less. Okay, so if they are dispersed, then preservation chances are low. So they must be accumulated. Okay, now we will
Sir,
describe the
please repeat the
repeat the word, the accumulation part.
repeat the diagram.
Okay, so I'm saying like if the organic matter is dispersed, then it cannot like proceed for the formation of the chances will decrease for its preservation. Okay, like they are surrounded by soil materials, the sediments, and the sediment must be containing some chemicals or some biological organism that will degrade it, and hence it cannot be preserved. Okay, they must be accumulated for preservation. Like they are accumulated like this, if they are accumulated like this, and this is a soil cover, so this thing will preserve, but this thing will not preserve, will not get preserved. So accumulation is an important criteria. First is the production, then accumulation, and then deposition. Then second is conversion of the organic matter to kerosene, and third is conversion of kerosene to petroleum. Okay, moving on, we will describe the step 1. Write down production, accumulation, and deposition of organic matter. So like we will discuss how the organic matters are produced, how they are accumulated, and like how they should be deposited in order to be preserved. Okay, so the production, basically the organic matter which are responsible for the hydrocarbons are produced by photosynthesis. So write down the first point. Photosynthesis is the basis for the basis for mass production of organic matter. Mass production of organic matter. Like photosynthesis is the only process which can convert carbon and hydrogen into an organic compound. Like there is no other process in the universe which can convert this carbon, that is the inorganic carbon, to the organic carbon. This is the only process. You must be knowing the formula for photosynthesis, like it combines CO2, then H2, and then we form the like carbohydrate and all. Carbohydrate glucose. You can write it 6CO2 plus 12H2O, and we need some sunlight for that, and it is indicated by H nu. You must be knowing that we have a formula E is equal to H nu, where E is energy, H is Planck's constant, that is equal to 6.64 into 10 to the power minus 34, and nu is the frequency. Okay, so 6CO2 plus 12H2O plus some sunlight, H nu converts that into C6H12O6, which is glucose plus 6 CO2 plus 6 H2O. Okay, so this is the basis for production of the organic matter. This acts as the organic matter. And this glucose is used by like autotrophic organism. Autotrophic means the organism which makes their own food. They do not depend on others like ours. We humans depend on others for food. We depend on plants. So autotrophic organisms use this glucose to make uh, polysaccharides. Well, this is a form of glucose only. Like poly means like a lot of more than one molecules are combined together. In polysaccharide we have cellulose. Cellulose is present in the bark of trees. Starch. Starch is present in all the fruits and on all other necessary constituents. Okay. So autotrophic organism will use the glucose produced during photosynthesis to generate organic matter such as cellulose, starch, etc. Any question in this?
No.
Okay. So write down a point. The first organism that use photosynthesis for the production of organic matter is the algae, blue green algae. So write down primitive autotrophic organism. Primitive autotrophic organisms such as photosynthetic bacteria. Bacteria are also photosynthetics bacteria and blue green algae were the first organisms for the production of were the first organisms responsible for the production of organic matter. Okay, and for like photosynthesis to occur, we have a basic requirement of chlorophyll. You must know this. Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is present in the pigments, uh, leaves, leaves of plants. Okay, so chlorophyll is necessary for the absorption of sunlight. Next point, write down like mass production of organic matter. Mass production of organic matter in the earth occurred after Silurian. Okay, after Silurian age, like we encountered mass production of organic matter because after Silurian age we encountered plants. Like plants flourished a lot after the Silurian age. Done with this.
Sir, please move back to previous page.
Okay. So like we discussed the CO2, like all of the CO2 is not used, na. Like we discussed like CO2 combines with water and then form glucose, and this glucose is used by autotrophic organism to form polysaccharides, and in polysaccharide we have materials such as cellulose, starch, and all. So all of the CO2 is not used for production of organic matter, and if the CO2 that is used for production of organic matter, it is not like that all of the organic matter that is produced will be converted into kerosene and then into petroleum. Like there are very minimal chances for preservation of the organic matter and its conversion to kerosene and petroleum. We will discuss a cycle in which cycle of carbon, how it how it travels through the biological cycle to between organism and between kerosene and all. Done with this.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, like CO2 follows two cycle. Either it will be preserved to form organic matter, or it will be destroyed. Like firstly, like let me write like this. This CO2 is converted into polysaccharides. Okay, polysaccharide, and these polysaccharide can either be converted into organic matter, and this will need preservation and all, or it will be destroyed. For example, if a plant dies on the above the surface of the earth, it is not converted into organic matter. We do not find petroleum on the surface of the earth. The organic matter, like the leaves fall, the organic matters are destroyed. Destroyed by what? Destroyed by water, air, sunlight, and by bacteria and all. Okay, so these are destroyed. So there are very minimal chances of their preservation. So this will follow two cycle. Either the polysaccharide produced will be converted into organic matter, or they will be destroyed. Destroyed means what? The polysaccharide like C6H12O6. This will be destroyed back into CO2. Okay, so we will discuss two cycle involving that. So write down. This is the CO2. Firstly, it will undergo photosynthesis. Photosynthesis by whom? By plants as well as by bacterias. Okay, this plants and bacterias will be consumed by whom? Will be consumed by animals. Okay, so we will finally have dead plants or dead animals or dead bacterias. This will be converted into organic matter in sediments. This will go into the soil. Okay, after dying, the plants and the animals will go into the soil, organic matter in sediment. So either this can be destroyed back into CO2, or like in a very rare case, they can be preserved by rapid burial. Rare, rapid burial and preservation. Rare, rapid burial and preservation. And then this will evolve into kerosene. This will evolve into petroleum. Okay. And if the cycle stops here, then it is good. Like if the petroleum is formed beneath the surface of the earth, and if there is an uplifting activity, for example, there is a surface of the earth, petroleum is formed, and like there is a tectonic activity, and this petroleum formed reaches the surface of the earth. Okay, so in the surface of the earth, then again the agents will act, air, water, and all, and this will again get converted into CO2. So it is not preserved at all. So even after formation of petroleum, it can get destroyed due to tectonic activities if it is brought to the surface of the earth. So if the cycle stops here, we can extract it. If the cycle stops here, then we can extract it. If the cycle continues, like for example, if uplifting occurs, uplifting or weathering, and oblique or weathering, uplifting and weathering occurs, then again the organic matter will go into the sediments, then it will go into CO2. The CO2 will be used for photosynthesis. Then again animal will take it, they will die, then organic matter will go into sediments. Then we will decide whether the cycle will go this way or this way. Okay. So whatever we are extracting now from beneath the surface is from this instant of the two cycle, and that is very rare. Like we have very large amount of carbon on the surface of the earth, like 2.65 into 10 to the power 30 kg. This is the amount of carbon, but like petroleum is not on that large scale. Really, this figure is a bit wrong. Let me check. Because like the mass of the earth is uh, mass of the sun is 2 into 10 to the power 30 kg. Mass of the earth is 6 into 10 to the power 24 kg. This is the mass of the earth, and this is the mass of the sun. So mass of the carbon must be less than that. You guys draw the cycle. I am checking for the correct number. Done. Any problem in this, or I will proceed? Ali?
Please proceed, sir.
Okay. Okay. So we will discuss the types of organic matter. Like we discuss that polysaccharides, the glucose that is produced by during photosynthesis is converted into polysaccharides by biological activities. Okay, biological activities converts this glucose into polysaccharide, and polysaccharide we saw like we encountered materials like starch, etc. So we'll see what are the types of organic matter we have. Write down types of organic matter. So we have basically four types of organic matter. First is protein, then we have carbohydrates, then we have lipids, or then we have lignin. Protein, carbohydrate, lipid, and lignins. You must be knowing that like the chicken or the meat we eat is rich in protein. So protein is rich in animals. Protein is very low in plants. You can write this down also. Poor in plants. Carbohydrate is really rich in plants and poor in animals. Lipid occurs both in plants and animal. Plant and animal दोनों में मिलता है ये. Then we have lignin, more in plants. Lignin is more in plants and not found in animals. Not found in animals. You can write the example of protein. You can write muscle fibers or silk or sponge. These are the example of protein. In carbohydrate, you can write glucose or the sugar or the cellulose of the trees or starch or chitin. In lipid, you can write animal fat or vegetable oil and waxes. In lignin, waxes WAX, yes. In lignin, you can write oak leaves. Like lignin is very restricted. It is not found in everything. Like it is written here that it is not found in animals. It is not found in all plants also. It is found in a huge amount in oak leaves, then pine needles. Like oak is a name of a tree. Pine is also a name of a tree. Okay, done. I'm moving on. So like we discussed the organic matter, like how they form and all. So like all the organic matter that is found by the plants and animals, all of them are not preserved, and like there are many factors that acts. So write down a topic: productivity and preservation of organic matter. Like all of the organic matter that are produced are not preserved. Okay, that's why we have very less amount of petroleum in the earth. Okay, so it will depend how much of the organic matter that is produced is destroyed. Like we can say uh, amount of organic matter buried in sediments. Buried in sediment related related to the ratio of organic productivity. Means like how much we have produced and destruction. Okay, like a lot of the organic matter that is produced are destructed. Not all of them are preserved. So the amount of organic matter that goes into the formation of hydrocarbon and all will depend upon the ratio of production and destruction. And in general, most of the organic matter is destroyed, as we like discussed in the carbon cycle. Like there were two cycle. In this cycle, like organic matter was produced and then destroyed back to CO2, and in this rare cycle, like was a rare cycle. In this rare cycle, where rare rapid burial occurred. Rare rapid burial means like this is a plant. This is a plant. Leaves fall down here, and like subsidence occurred at all in a once. Okay, lot of leaves are there, and subsidence occurred. The earth sinked. Okay, and like a lot of material deposited over it. So the leaves are here. Leaves are here, and these are the sediments over it. So like this is a very rare phenomenon. So that's why this is a rare cycle. So generally most of the organic matter are destroyed and rarely they are preserved. Minor amount of organic matter are preserved. Okay. Subsidence is a technique for preservation of the organic matter. Like if the earth goes down, then all at once, like it will go down and the material will deposit over it, so it will lose contact with the agents. Like I discussed a bit earlier, like the agents like air, water, these are the destroying agents. If we disconnect with this agent, then the organic matter will be present. So how subsidence will help in that? Like if the materials subside and materials and sediments are deposited over it, like then this deposited material, the organisms, will lose contact with the air, will lose contact with the air, water, and all. So this will be preserved. Then write down a point. Deposition of
Sir,
or
I
huh,
can't understand this previous point, which is this point.
yeah, like this the subsidence part.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So like for preservation, like I discussed a bit earlier, like why organic matters are destroyed. Organic matters are destroyed because they are attacked by many agents. They are attacked by air, water. Like these are weathering agents, na? You guys must have studied in study. These are weathering agents. Like this will destroy the organic matter, air, water, okay, glacier and all. This will destroy it. So for in order for the organic matter to be preserved, it must lose contact with air, water, and glacier. Okay, and for that we need rapid burial. Rapid burial. Okay, it means that the sediments, sorry, the organic matter must be buried like very fastly, and that can occur only when there is a phenomenon such as subsidence or a like very sudden event. Okay, very sudden event can cause a rapid burial. Like if we like provide time, like if the tree, like this is that so sorry, this is the tree and this is the surface of the earth. The leaves fall here, and this leaves after falling, the leaves are here, and after the leaves have fall, 2 years have passed. In these 2 years, agents like or air, water, and glacier, this will act upon this organic matter and will destroy it. So like we should not have a large time gap. Like this 2 year gap is very large. So in this time these agents will destroy the organic matter. That's why we need rapid burial. As soon as the organic matters are there, they must be buried to be preserved. Okay, we there should not be a time gap in between the between the burial. Okay, like if they are buried after 2 years, then it doesn't make any sense because they are already destroyed. And rare rapid burial can occur. There is a chance that they can be preserved during subsidence. Okay, if for example this is the Earth surface. Okay, and here are the organism and the organic matter and all. The Earth goes down to this surface. Like this is the final surface, and lots of sediments are deposited over it. Like this is the sediments. These are the sediments, and these are the organic matters. These are the organic matters. The brown colored are the sediments and green color are the organic matter. So like they if now the green ones have lost contact with air, water and all. Okay, so they will be preserved, and subsidence is a phenomenon that can help in that. You got it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I was saying some conditions that are necessary for the preservation. So write it down. Deposition of organic rich sediments is favored by firstly high productivity. High productivity means there should be a large amount of organisms. High productivity of organic matter. Like if we are having one or two leaves, or like 1 kg leaves or 1 kg organism, then like there are chances that they will be destroyed. Like the organic matter should be in very high amount or high productivity of organic matter and high preservation potential. High preservation potential. And for high preservation potential, we have some certain conditions such as rapid burial, high sedimentation rate, and presence of stratification within waters. Within water. The third condition we will discuss later, like how stratification within water will help the preservation of sediment within water where sedimentation occurs. So firstly, we need to have a large amount of organic matter, and then for the preservation we need rapid burial and very high sedimentation rate, and or if the deposition is occurring within water, then we need the water layers to be stratified, and we will discuss how the water layers are stratified and how they can help in the preservation of organic matter. So you guys write down these points: rapid burial, high sedimentation rate, and presence of stratification within waters. Are you guys having any noise? Are you guys hearing any noise?
So sometimes there is
Yes, sir.
noise.
Yes, sir.
Is it there now?
No, sir.
No,
Now it
sir.
is clear.
Okay. So do let me know then when it is there. So these are the three conditions you guys have. I think you guys have wrote it down. So I'm moving on. So write down organic productivity and preservation in oceans and seas. Okay, we will discuss how the organic matter are produced in ocean and how they are preserved. So, firstly, for production, write down the point. The organic matter are produced like by photosynthesis. Organic matter are produced by
That the noise is increasing.
what?
So
Ali?
is removed. The noise is getting increased. So I'm interrupting. Sorry, sir.
Okay, no worry. So, organic productivity and preservation in oceans at sea. So, firstly, the organic matter produced by photosynthesis, and by photosynthesis by whom? In oceans, we have phytoplanktons. You guys must remember these things. Like in ocean, we have phytoplanktons, and these are responsible for the production of organic matter, and benthic algae. Why we are saying benthic algae? Why not planktic algae? Because planktic, P-L-A-N-K-T-I-C, this planktic algae will occur at the surface of the waters. Surface of waters. Surface of water or between like 1 to 10 meters of depth from the surface. And this, as these planktic algae are occurring at the surface of water, there are chances that they will be destroyed. Okay, because they are in contact of air. So for we will count only the organic matter that are produced by phytoplanktons and by benthic algae. Okay, then write down factors favoring productivity of organic matter. Like which factors favors and helps in the production of organic matter. First factor is, firstly, you guys write down physical factors. In physical factors, we need temperature and light. Okay, light is necessary. Sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis, and these things, temperature and light, depend. Sorry, light, temperature. You guys know temperature varies with latitude and all, and light varies with depth. Okay, latitude, turbidity of water. Like for example, this is the surface of the ocean. Surface of ocean. This is fresh water, and this is turbidity water. Okay, so like there is a lot of turbidity in this water, and this is the sun. So in the first case, sunlight will reach here, up to where, because of fresh water. Like there is no turbidity in the water, and in case of the turbidity water, sunlight will reach only up to like like for very few meters. Okay, and in case of fresh water, it like reaches up to 10 meter or 20 meter. So it depends upon how the water is, how turbidity, what is the amount of turbidity in the water. If the turbidity is high, the sunlight will reach to a lesser depth. And we have discussed how turbidity is affecting the light, and then we will discuss how depth is affecting the light. For example, if this is the depth, and if consider this as productivity, this axis as productivity and this axis as depth. Okay, so productivity will vary as this. Firstly it is very high at shallow depths. Depth here is 0, so it is very high at shallow depths. And as we go on increasing the depth, productivity firstly remains a bit constant, then it decreases exponentially. And why it is decreasing exponentially? Because of lack of sunlight in this depth. So lack of sunlight, if there is lack of sunlight, then photosynthesis will not occur, and if photosynthesis will not occur, then organic matter will not be produced. So with depth, productivity of organic matter will decrease. So you guys draw this figure variation of organic productivity OP with depth. Like there are more factors. I've said only about sunlight, lack of sunlight, and also of oxygen. We will discuss how oxygen is affecting the production of organic matter at depths. Okay, done. So as we discussed, like sunlight is reaching to a shallow depth, so productivity is high in this region. So you can write this is the photic zone, PHOTACZONE, photozone. Therefore, in this region, productivity is very high. Okay. Photic zone means the zone which has sunlight, and this zone in which the productivity is low has both lack of sunlight and that of oxygen. And why there is a lack of oxygen, we will discuss. For example, this is the ocean, okay, and this is the depth, this is the organic matter productivity. Like the organism which are occurring here, they are doing what? They are doing photosynthesis. They are doing photosynthesis. They are producing organic matter. Then they are using the organic matter produced to produce energy. Okay, by respiration. We also do the same. We respire to produce energy. And then when they use the organic matter to convert into energy by respiration, they release O2. So in this region, oxygen is high in this region for two reasons. Because firstly, if this is the surface of ocean, then and this is the air. Firstly, this region is in contact with air, so air will dissolve in the water. So this is the first reason for high concentration of oxygen in this region. Secondly, the organism that are present here, they are respiring to convert the organic matter into energy, and in that process oxygen is being released, okay, during respiration. So this oxygen produced will also dissolve in the water, so the concentration of oxygen in the water will go up. But in depths, what will happen? There is no oxygen, sorry, there is no sunlight, there is no sunlight, then therefore what will occur? No photosynthesis will not occur. Okay, so the organism that are present here, they will basically take the food produced by the organism that are occurring at the top. Okay, these are not autotrophic organism because they are not making their own food. They will use the food made by the other organism. They will use the food. Okay, and for respiration we need oxygen. Okay, and these organisms that are present at the depth, they are only using the oxygen for respiration, and there is a lack of sunlight. So they are the oxygen that is initially present in this region, they are using that for oxygen. So they are depleting the oxygen here, and ultimately the oxygen level goes down in this region, and organic productivity is low. The main reason for low organic productivity at deeper depths is the lack of sunlight. Lack of sunlight causes lack of photosynthesis. And if there is no photosynthesis, there is no organic matter.
That why is it
Hmm.
called oxygen depletion zone? Please repeat.
Yeah, there are two reasons. Na? Like firstly, this is the photic zone. Photic zone in which we are having the sunlight in this zone. Okay, sunlight is present in this zone. So in this zone, what is happening is the organisms are doing photosynthesis. They are using the photosynthesis to produce organic matter. Then they are respiring. Then they are releasing oxygen. Okay, and this zone is also in contact with the air. the water, the air, sorry, or the oxygen from the water is getting dissolved into the water. So this region is getting a lot of oxygens, both from the biological processes of the autotrophic organism and from the air also. But in this region, there is no autotrophic organism because there is no sunlight. So so basically, if there is no photosynthesis, and then there will be no biological activity, then there will be no release of oxygen. You guys must be knowing that plants release oxygen na, during their biological processes. Okay, we release CO2 and they release oxygen. So if there are no autotrophic organism, they are not making food here. They will not release oxygen here. And also this region is not in contact with the air. So oxygen will ultimately go down in this region. So this is an oxygen depletion zone, and organic productivity organic productivity is very low in this region. Organic productivity is low. Got it?
Yes,
Lack of
sir.
lack of photosynthesis is the main reason. Okay. The first factor is like we discussed the first factor, na. Factors favoring productivity of organic matter. First factor is the temperature and light. Okay. Write down the second factor. Second factor is chemical factors. So you guys must be knowing that we used to like sprink fertilizers for the plants to grow fastly, and that fertilizer sometimes they are called as NPK, like nitrogen, phosphate, and potassium. These things are necessary for the growth of the plant. So chemically, phosphates, phos phosphates and nitrates. These are two chemical compounds that are necessary for the production of organic matter. So write down higher abundance, higher abundance of phosphates and nitrates results in higher organic productivity (OP). And what is the reason for that? The reason is that phosphates and nitrates helps in growth of plants and animals. You can write that as well, because phosphates and nitrates helps in growth of plants and animals. Okay. You guys draw a figure for locating the regions of high productivity. Like this is this spherical globe. This is Antarctica, this is North America, this is South America and all. This is Africa. This is just representative, not accurate. This is Asia, this is India, this is Sri Lanka, this is Australia, NASA, okay, Asia, Africa, again Antarctica. One is North Hemisphere and another is South Hemisphere. Sorry, yeah. So in this two globes, we will demarcate regions of high productivity, and this is based on ocean circulation. So like the organic matter that are produced in the photic zone and all, they are circulated by ocean waters. Like there are many ocean currents that circulates that, and based on the direction of that ocean currents, we have regions of high productivity and regions of low productivity, and we will delineate that. So draw down So at the top of North America, like as I did, we have region of very high productivity. These blue regions are of very high productivity. Okay, and on the west side of South America, we have regions of very high productivity. These are all due to ocean circulation. And above Antarctica, we have a belt of very high organic productivity. This is a belt of very high organic productivity. And in Asia, we have a belt going like this. Okay.
So, are these due to cold oceanic currents?
What?
Cold oceanic currents? Because Antarctic circumpolar current has cold current. So, any relation with that?
There can be relation between them, but like you cannot like basically say that they are due to cold or warm. They are based on direction also. Like you can see here that most of the organic matter are concentrating on the west side. So basically, they are based on direction. And above Antarctica, they may be due to cold currents and all. Like for Africa, yeah. In Africa also, we encounter region of high productivity on the west side. So there is a relation with direction of the oceanic currents. In the west side of South America, we have the high regions of high productivity, and in the west side of Africa, we have regions of high productivity. And above Antarctica, we again have a belt of high region of high productivity.
Listen, and in the practice, cold currents are often found in the west coast of continents. So, probably there should be a relation.
So you are asking anything? Like
I'm asking that any relation with cold current and productivity of organic matter is any relation or not?
yes, there is a relation. Like they are very much related with the direction of the circulation of the currents. Like basically they must be related to cold current because like warm currents will destroy it. Okay.
Okay, understood. Understood. Okay.
You can write here regions of high productivity. Done with this? So write down there are three main regions or areas of high organic productivity. Okay. First is center of large oceans and polar seas. You must have heard like low temperature favors preservation, and that's why like we are discussing here polar seas, center of large ocean and polar seas. And in the center of large ocean and polar seas, we encounter organic productivity of 50 gram per meter square per year. This is the organic matter that is not destroyed. Okay, this is the organic matter that is there for the conversion to kerosene. Second is two belts of very high productivity encircling the globe. You can get an idea of that from the figure also. Encircling the globe along the boundaries between polar and equatorial oceans. Okay, So we are like in point 2, it is mentioned about these two belts. Okay. And in this belt, we have organic productivity of about 200 to 400 gram per meter square per year. And to write down the reason of high productivity in this areas, reason of high productivity. Firstly, high latitude. Here the latitude is 0. Okay. And this region is occurring at high latitude. This region is also occurring at high latitude. So firstly, high latitude upwelling of water rich in organic matter, water rich in nutrients and phosphates. So this means that like high latitude upwelling of water rich in nutrients and phosphates, like the ocean water circulates and they upwell at where? Upwell at high latitudes. Upwell means like they come to the surface. This is the surface, they come to the surface at high latitudes. And when they come to the surface at high latitudes, they carry with them what? They carry with them nutrients and phosphates and all. These nutrients and phosphates are used by the organisms to produce what? To produce what? To like if the nutrients and phosphates will be high in a region, then there will be a lot of organic matter, and when these organic matters will die, they will result in the formation of organic matter. So ocean circulation is very necessary. Okay, we have studied about productivity. For productivity, we need we need sunlight and all, light, and then chemical factors. We need phosphates and nitrates, and this will depend upon the ocean circulation. The ocean upwell the phosphate and nitrates in high latitudes. So in high latitude, the plant and the organism will consume the phosphate and nitrates, and they will flourish.
Sir,
There, yeah, what?
Sir, but at high latitudes, ocean water receives less amount of sunlight. So, sir, but how in that case the productivity is high, sir? How is
Yeah,
that possible?
okay, okay. So basically, like we are discussing about the nutrients. So like, there are two things. Firstly, photosynthesis. Okay, this is for worm. This is for autotrophic organism. Okay, and for them only sunlight is necessary. For this organism only sunlight is necessary. Sorry, for autotrophic, I will place it here. For autotrophic organism, sunlight is necessary. Okay. For other organisms which are not autotrophic, what is necessary for them?
The nutrients rich in
Yeah,
phosphate and all. Okay, okay, sir.
yeah. For them, nutrients and phosphates are necessary. Okay, so where the nutrients and phosphates will be high, the organism will flourish by taking them, and there will be a lot of organic matter. So we have discussed about the production. Now we will discuss about the preservation. Write down preservation of organic matter in oceans and seas. Same as we discussed earlier. High sedimentation rate is required. Write down high sedimentation rate. Rapid burial. Okay. The organic matter found must be buried as soon as possible. Rapid burial. Anaerobic bottom condition. Anaerobic condition is required. there should be no aerobic activity. If there is aerobic activity, it means that there is oxygen, and if oxygen is there, it will destroy the organic matter. Anaerobic conditions should be there. It means like O2 should be absent. O2 should be absent, and presence of stratification, as we discussed earlier. Presence of stratification within waters. If the sedimentation rate will be slow, like sedimentation rate will be slow. Like we discussed now, like if there is a time gap of 2 years, like if the organic matter is deposited after 2 years, then it will destroy. Same is here. If the sedimentation rate is low, then the organic matter will take a lot of time to get deposited, and in that time interval, it will get destroyed. Okay, so high sedimentation rate is required. You should also know that sedimentation rate should not be low, okay, should be high, but SR is for sedimentation rate, but should not be very high, okay. High sedimentation rate is okay, low sedimentation rate is not okay, and very high sedimentation rate is also not okay. Why? Because very high sedimentation rate will cause less organic rich sediment. Less organic rich sediment. Okay. Like it is like similar to like mixing 1 gram of organic matter with like 2 kg of soil. So it doesn't make any sense. 2 kg of soil will occur when the sedimentation rate is very high. So this doesn't make any sense, and this organic matter will not be preserved. Accumulation is necessary, and accumulation will occur only when the sedimentation rate is high, not very high. Okay. Accumulation is necessary. Organic matter should not be dispersed. Very high sedimentation rate will cause concentration of organic matter in the sediment to decrease. In the sediment to decrease. So I am drawing a graph to depict that. If this is the total organic carbon, okay, TOC, and this is the sedimentation rate. These are in log scale. So with increase in sedimentation rate, total organic carbon in the matter will increase. As we discussed here, low sedimentation rate, no preservation, and in high sedimentation rate, we preserve sediment. So as the sedimentation rate will increase, the total organic carbon in the sediment will increase. But when the sedimentation rate, at a point when the sedimentation rate becomes very high, it will start decreasing. The total organic carbon is start decreasing. Like if at this point the total organic carbon is 10, if at this point it is 8, then after a certain sedimentation rate, like after this sedimentation rate, it will start decreasing. Okay, so this is the figure representing the above point. Draw this. For different materials, we often different graphs. For example, if this is for sale, we may often graph like this. The peak sedimentation rate is different for different material. This can be for siliceous material, siliceous rock, siliceous sediment, you write, or like the graph can be like this for calcareous sediments. Okay. Firstly, the sedimentation rate will increase. Firstly, the total organic carbon in the sediment will increase with increase in sedimentation rate, but at very high sedimentation rate, it will start decreasing. SR means sedimentation rate. So we have discussed the point of sedimentation rate. Like we had 3 points now: sedimentation rate, anaerobic condition, and presence of stratification. So now moving with anaerobic condition. Like there are few terms related to anaerobic condition. Firstly, we have oxic water, means the water that is very rich in oxygen. Like it has 8 to or say 2 to 8 ml of oxygen per liter of H2O. And then we have dysoxic water. In dysoxic water, we have 2 to 0.2 ml per liter of H2O. Okay. In suboxic water, we have 0.2 to 0 ml of O2 per liter of water. And in anoxic water, we have 0 ml of O2 per liter of H2O. And this type of water, suboxic and anoxic, this is very favorable for preservation of organic matter. I will take like 10 more minutes to discuss stratification. You guys are done with this?
No, sir, please wait.
Okay, very.
Sir, what is written that very few?
Very few. Yeah, very favorable for preservation of organic matter. Very favorable for preservation of organic matter.
Yes, sir, done.
Okay. So like there were 3 points. First was the sedimentation rate. We discussed the sedimentation rate. Like at low sedimentation rate, we will not preserve the sediments. At high sedimentation rate, we will preserve the sediment. At very high sedimentation rate, we will again not preserve the sediment. Then we discussed about water, the oxygen condition. We will preserve the sediment in anoxic and suboxic water, but not in oxic and deoxic water. So the next condition is the stratification within water. So write down presence of stratification. Okay, so there are 4 conditions in which the water can be stratified. Firstly, write down freshwater lake and freshwater lake. In freshwater lake, stratification occurs due to thermal conditions. So write down freshwater lake, thermal induced stratification. We will later discuss how the stratification will help in preservation. Freshwater lake, thermal induced stratification. Then write down bad ocean, BARRAD ocean. Stratification due to salinity contrast means difference due to salinity difference, write it down. Then third is continental shelf with upwelling of water rich in nutrients. Water rich in nutrients and phosphates. Like you guys must have seen the map of India. Like this is the map of India. Most of the oil and gas is being produced from where? Like if this is Bengal. We are finding oil and gas here. Bengal basin, Gujarat and Rajasthan. We are finding oil here. Bombay, we are finding oil here. Krishna Godavari, we are finding oil here. So why we are finding oil in this region only in the shelves? So the reason is this, the third point. Continental shelf with upwelling of water rich in nutrients and phosphates. This is the shelf areas, na? Coastal shelf areas. So we are finding oil in this region. And the fourth is write down deposition. Deposition in anoxic oceanic basin. Like this is rare. Like anoxic ocean basin are not present now, but there were some anoxic basin in the past. So if something is deposited in the anoxic basin, then certainly it will be preserved because there is no oxygen to destroy the organic matter. For today we will discuss only the freshwater lake condition, like how stratification occur in that and how it helps in preservation. You guys are done with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So write down first point, the freshwater lake thermal induced stratification. Thermal induced stratification. So just draw a figure with me. I'm drawing a lake. This is the surface of water. And we have layers within it, 2 layers. So the layering which has occurred here is due to two reasons. Sorry, is due to thermal reason. Thermal means due to temperature difference. Like the top layer has a temperature of maybe like 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, and the bottom region has a temperature of 10 to 20 degrees Celsius. So these regions have a temperature contrast, and thus a layering develops. This layering is not definite, like there is not a line like this separating the two layers. There is some mixed layer also, like in the region in which the two layers are mixed, as we discussed in the oil, water, and the gas zone. There is some mixing also, but there occurs layering due to temperature contrast. And how this layering will help, we will discuss. Like we all know that temperature of water decreases with depth in ocean. Okay, like so the top layer has a high temperature and the bottom layer has a low temperature. Therefore, deeper layers are cooler and shallow layers are warmer, and this results in the formation of layers within water that are the cooler layers that are dense, and the warmer layers that are less dense. So these layers are less dense and these layers are more dense. So temperature is inducing what? Temperature is inducing density contrast. Okay, high temperature things are less dense and more high temperature things are less dense, and low temperature things are more dense. So this layering occurs. Okay, then in the shallower parts, like in this part, I'm indicating with that red. Yeah, in this part, like this is at the top. So this must be the photic zone, and this in this zone, photosynthesis is carried out by phytoplanktons and all. O2 is released as a byproduct of photosynthesis. As a result of which, in the shallower layers, we have greater concentration of oxygen, and living organisms are abundant in this zone. Like oxygen is necessary for living organism, no? So oxygen is abundant in this zone. But in the deeper part, what happens is photosynthesis does not take place, and due to the absence of sunlight, obviously, and also the oxygen dissolved in water is used by heterotrophic organism for respiration. Okay, so the oxygen that was present initially at the deeper zones is used by the heterotrophic organism, and it ends up the oxygen finishes. Okay, so this makes the deeper layer anoxic, and the living organisms are rare in this region due to lack of oxygen and lack of sunlight. So you can also pen down these points. First point is what? First point is temperature decreases with depth. Temperature decreases with depth. Therefore, deeper layers of what? Deeper layer are cooler, and shallower layers are warmer. And as a result of which, this temperature difference, we are having two different layers. Layering is developing due to temperature contrast. Okay, and now cooler layer means dense layer, and warmer layer means less dense layer. Done. We have discussed how layering is developing. Now we'll discuss how oxygen is varying in between these two layers. Write down in the shallower part. In the shallower part, that is the photic zone. Photic zone. Sunlight is there. Okay. Photosynthesis is carried out. Photosynthesis is carried out by whom? By phytoplanktons. By phytoplanktons or by photosynthetic bacteria. Okay, and we all know that O2 is a byproduct of photosynthesis. O2 is released as a byproduct of photosynthesis. As a result of which, the shallower layers are rich in oxygen. As a result of which, the shallower layers are rich in oxygen. This thing was explained in the figure in which we are discussing the variation of organic productivity with depth. Okay, and in the deeper part, what happens is photosynthesis does not take place. Sunlight is not there. The oxygen that was present initially is used by heterotrophic organism for respiration, and oxygen ultimately goes down. I think you guys will write it down on your own. Okay, so density difference between the shallower and deeper layer. Now the density difference that was produced due to temperature difference prevents circulation of water. Write it down. Density difference prevents circulation of water. Okay, like if these are the layers, circulation will take like this. For example, these are the two layers. Okay, the circulation will occur within the layers. Circulation will take within the layers and not across the layers. Like there will be no circulation like this, like this. Okay, like involving both of the layers because there is a density contrast between the layers. This less dense layer cannot push through the more dense layer. Okay, so this will not happen. Circulation will take place like this. Density difference will prevent circulation of water. And in this region we have organisms. We have organism. This is oxic region. This is oxic region. The water is oxic. Organism is there. Organic productivity is being taking place because of photosynthesis and all. And in this layer, what is this? What is there? No photosynthesis. No photosynthesis. No oxygen. Okay. So no organism. Okay. But when there will be a sporadic storm, like there is a sudden activity of a very strong storm, then what we will do in normal condition, what will happen? The circulation will take within the layers, like this. But when there is a rare condition of very strong storm, what will happen is the this layer will churn into this. This layer will enter into this. Okay. So write it down. In rare sporadic storms, the the shallower layer the shallower layer, high organic productivity जिसमें था, the shallower layer which are rich in organic matter will be churned churned down churned down into the deeper anoxic layer. Okay, नीचे वाला लेयर क्या है? नीचे वाला लेयर एनॉक्सिक है. तो अगर ऊपर वाला लेयर चर्न डाउन करता है नीचे में, then what will happen is they will go into the anoxic layer. And anoxic condition what? Anoxic condition helps in preservation. So this is how organic matters are preserved in
Sir,
lakes.
in rare sporadic, then what is written?
Storm, तूफान, STORM. ओके, तो होगा ये कि अगर हमारे पास दो लेयर है, पहला लेयर क्या है? पहला लेयर सैलो है, इसमें तुम्हारा ऑक्सीजन है एंड ऑर्गेनिक मैटर बहुत ज़्यादा है क्योंकि फोटोसिंथेसिस हो रहा है. नीचे वाले लेयर में क्या है? ऑक्सीजन है ही नहीं, डिसऑक्सिक है. और ये लेयर से ये लेयर में ऑक्सीजन आ भी नहीं रहा है बिकॉज दोनों का सर्कुलेशन अलग अलग है. ये लेयर में अपना सर्कुलेशन हो रहा है, दिस लेयर हैज इट्स ओन सर्कुलेशन. ओके, सो ऑक्सीजन इज नॉट देयर. एंड व्हेन देयर इज अ sporadic storm, there is a sudden activity, all of the organic matter will be churned down into this. Okay, all of the organic matter are churned down into this. All goes into the anoxic layer. And when all of the organic matter goes into this or anoxic layer, they are preserved. And this is how preservation takes place in lakes. Got it? Anybody has anything to ask in this?
Sir, can you explain the TOC and sedimentation rate diagram?
TOC and sedimentation rate. Okay. This is clear, na?
Yes.
Okay. Let people write it down. We will discuss it within a minute.
So preservation there has to be some sporadic storm like
Yeah. Otherwise, preservation cannot take place. Because organic matter are in this layer, na? Organic matter are at the top layer, and in the top layer, organic matter are in this top layer, and in the top layer there is oxygen. This oxygen will decay the organic matter. Organic matter will not be preserved at any case in this layer, shallow layer. It must go into the deeper anoxic layer for its preservation, and this can take place only when there is a sudden activity such as a sporadic storm or subsidence and all. Okay, there must be a sudden activity so that the organic matter go into the deeper layer.
yes.
So, what about those organisms that can sustain in anoxic environment?
Yeah, like can you name few organisms? Like because there are very few organisms, few species like which can live in anoxic condition. Okay, so they should not be that abundant that can result in accumulation and then production of petroleum. Okay, they are less in abundance, na? Anoxic,
Yes,
like
sir.
anaerobic bacteria and all, they are less abundant, na?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Eventually they will help, no? If there are some anaerobic bacteria and all here, they will eventually help in accumulation of organic matter. But the thing is, like, if anything is anaerobic, ultimately it will need something, na? It will not need oxygen for respiration, but it will need nutrients, na? But there is no nutrient in the bottom layer because there is no transfer of nutrient from the top layer to bottom layer because they have their own circulation cycles. Nothing is circulating from this layer to this layer, so nutrient is not getting transferred. Like, who will make the nutrients? Those occurring in the shallower zones, the photosynthetic organism, they will make the nutrients. And if the nutrients
Yes,
goes
sir.
into the deeper layer, then only it can be used by the anaerobic organism. And there is a lack of circulation between these two layers. So eventually, if
Yes,
there are
sir.
some anaerobic organism, they will eventually help in the accumulation. Okay, coming to
Okay,
the
sir.
yeah, okay. So the TOC diagram, we had a log TOC in this y-axis and log sedimentation rate in this. So what we discussed is, as we increase the sedimentation rate, like as I am drawing this diagram or drawing this line, the sedimentation rate is increasing. Now it has reached at the top. As we are increasing the sedimentation rate, the TOC is increasing. The slope is what? Slope is positive. Okay. Slope is positive means what? When we say the slope is positive, when x is increasing and y is increasing, if both are increasing, we say the slope is positive. Therefore, the slope is, this line is positive. Okay, sedimentation rate is increasing, then TOC is increasing. But after this, the line bends like this, like at very high sedimentation rate, because sedimentation rate is increasing in this direction, but TOC is decreasing. Okay, so slope of this line is what? Slope of this line is negative. Negative y, because x is increasing but y is decreasing. In y-axis we have TOC. So the thing is, at low sedimentation rate, we preserve organic matter. Okay, it is good. Sorry, low sedimentation rate is not good. Sorry about that. At low sedimentation rate, we do not preserve organic matter. At high sedimentation rate, we preserve organic matter. And again, in very high sedimentation rate, we again do not preserve, because this causes what? This causes this prevents accumulation. This prevents accumulation of organic matter. 2 gram of organic matter in 2 kg of soil. Okay, not meaningful. Who asked
Sir,
this question? Yeah. Hi.
why the graph is different for shale, siliceous, and calcareous sediment?
Like, why the graph is dedicated to?
Different for shale, siliceous, and calcareous sediment.
Yeah, like it is obvious, na. Like, for example, if this is the thing, you all must know that source rock. We will discuss it later. What are source rock and all. The most famous and the most potential source rock for preservation of organic matter is shale. Okay, and then we have other things like carbonates and all, because shale has very low porosity, sorry, very low permeability. It does not allow anything to percolate within it, like it does not allow oxygen and water to enter it. Okay, so it is restricting the agent, so the organic matter which are present inside the shale are preserved. But that is not with the case of carbonates and all. That's why the TOC is low in this. Like, this is the diagram for shale. High TOC, TOC, and this is the diagram for siliceous materials. Siliceous material. Siliceous material means what? Quartz and all. And this is the diagram for calcareous material. Shale is a very good source rock. Like this diagram also indicates that shale is a very good source rock. Got it? Shale has high
Yes.
preservation potential. Na? You can write shale has high preservation potential. High preservation potential. High preservation potential due to what? Due to high porosity and due to low permeability. High porosity you will help in what? High porosity will help in accumulation of large amount of organic matter, and low permeability. Low permeability will restrict entry of O2 water etc. Okay, the porosity will help in accumulation of organic matter in shale, and the low permeability of self will restrict the organic oxygen and water, and thus ultimately both of this large organic matter and low amount of oxygen. So the shale are rich in organic matter. Okay, and the organic matter are preserved within the shales. And what is the case with calcareous things? The case with calcareous thing is low porosity. Okay, they are very less porous. Only when dissolution occurs and some solution holes or bulges that is develop, then they develop porosity. Okay, calcareous thing are very less porous. Less porosity means less amount of organic matter. Less amount of organic matter means less TOC. Less TOC means the graph will be at the bottom. Okay. Hello. Hello. Anybody? Like, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This part is clear, na? Like why cell is at the top? Like cell is at the top because like it has high porosity, so it can accumulate large amount of organic matter. So total organic carbon is high in that. Calcium cannot accumulate high amount of organic matter. It's clear, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. Okay, then I will end up here only for today. Thank you
So,
all.
Sir,
Yeah, hi.
please move back to the previous page, which is written in the shallow parts photic zone.
Hello, part 42. Okay.
so which book we should refer?
Okay. This one, this figure.
Previous page. Uh,
This one.
yes. Yes.
Okay, the books. So you can refer to books. I'm writing the names of the two books.
So done it.
Okay. So you can use two books for reference. Elements of Petroleum Geology. Okay. This is written by Richard C. Selly. Elements of Petroleum Geology, and there is another like this book is sufficient, but you can also refer another book by Tissot. I'm writing its name also. Yeah, petroleum formation and occurrence. These two books you guys can refer, but this book at the top, Elements of Petroleum Geology by Richard S. Selly. This book is sufficient, more than sufficient, I would say. Okay, done. Then thank you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.